Hi, I'm Steve Lindsay, commander of STS-133. You're watching NASA TV.
Good morning, Discovery. That was City of Blinding Lights by U2. And that comes from you, from your crewmate on the Earth, Tim Kopra. That was going to be Tim's wake-up song, and he asked us to play that for you today to honor his crewmates in space.
But the Discovery crew joins us from the space station. They're orbiting 220 miles above Earth, so we will have a little bit of delay, but you guys look great. It's Commander Steve Lindsay, Eric Bowe, the pilot, Steve Bowen, mission specialist, Alvin Drew, mission specialist, Mike Barrett, mission specialist, and Nicole Stott, mission specialist. Great to see all of you this morning. Let me start with Commander Lindsay. You guys launched Thursday. You got to the space station on Saturday. As we said, this is going to be the final mission. What has it been like so far?
Well, so far, the mission has been fantastic. We've accomplished most of our major objectives already. We had 2 successful spacewalks, accomplished all those objectives, plus a whole bunch of extra, what we call get-aheads. We installed the last scheduled U.S. pressurized module to the space station. We installed a external stowage platform with critical spares for the space station. Been transferring and working a lot of science as well as some logistics and cargo transfers. So far the mission has gone just absolutely spectacular. We couldn't be happier with it, and looking forward to a couple of more days up here on our beautiful International Space Station.
Commander, you are going to be the pilot when you bring this thing in for its final landing ever. The pilot, you'll be the commander. Pilot Eric Bowe is going to be riding shotgun. So you two are going to bring this thing in. Eric, I want to ask you, when you bring that down and you hear those final words from Mission Control to say successful landing of the space shuttle, what are you thinking about that moment?
Well, we'd be glad to be back on Earth, and as the final landing, I think you said it before, it's going to be bittersweet. You know, the shuttle, it's amazing. The Discovery looks like it's flying its first flight, and it'll be a time that when we get to, there's a huge team that is involved in maintaining Discovery on the ground. So it's a huge pride for the 30 years plus of the shuttles flying, and Discovery doing great work on orbit.
That really is, and we're just seeing the pictures right now. It's amazing. Alvin, I want to ask you, you got to do a special experiment, a message in a bottle experiment. What was that?
A message in a bottle experiment was commissioned by JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency, where they wanted to capture a bit of outer space in a glass tube to bring back to put on display throughout Japan. So my job was to go out there and open up this bottle and capture some space, actually just the vacuum of space in this, and seal it back up to bring back to the folks from Japan.
Okay, I don't know how much of that you got, but essentially today we're at the point where we've completed our major robotics activities and our 2 spacewalks. So we'll be working some more transfer and getting a little time off, hopefully spend some of that looking out the nice panoramic window we have in the cupola module.
This being the last shuttle mission, is it a bittersweet moment?
Well, we have the honor of actually flying the last mission of the good ship Discovery. There's 1 and possibly 2 more shuttle missions after us, but of course we're seeing a program come to a close here, and to see these shuttles, these beautiful, magnificent flying machines, end their service life is obviously a little bit sad for us to see. But it is about time. They've lived a very long time. They've had a fabulous success record. They've built this magnificent station. They've given us lots of science and a tremendous amount of experience of just how to operate in space. And more than anything, we look forward to seeing them retire with dignity and bringing on the next line of spaceships.
The crew of Space Shuttle Discovery, thank you for taking time out of your busy mission to talk with us. We really appreciate it. I'd like to start with talking to Nicole Stock, Clearwater High School graduate who's been before on the space station as a resident there for 3 months. And Nicole, it is excellent to be talking with you again. I want to lead off with a question from Tom on Facebook. He asked, if you could bring back one experience from space and share it with everyone down here, what would that be?
Well, I think it would be a combination of 2 things, really. One would be that we should look at this this space station, this just really magnificent orbiting spacecraft as a true example of what we can do as an international community. This is a complex machine that's up here, and we have come together as countries from around the world and built it beautifully. And then I think I would also say that you can't walk away from here or float away from here without really appreciating what a wonderful planet we have. There is nothing like the views you get out the windows here of our just glowing, colorful planet to make us realize that we have a very special place to take care of, and it does such a perfect job of providing us with what we need to live and survive there. So I think those would be the 2 things.
And Houston Station on 2 for the Rams. I'm looking at messages, and I see up to 250304, and then we skip to 0418. And I'm looking for 250309. Can you confirm that's still on board?
Mike, we'll double check. We thought so.
Okay, and you may be absolutely right. It's been a while since I've been messing with these computers. I'm going to run for the PAO event, and we'll catch up with you afterwards.
Good plan.
Mike, I want to ask you this one. Discovery, it's been up there very many times, and when we take a look at the miles that Discovery has been on after the 5,600 trips it's been around the Earth, are there more leaks, shall we say, in the sunroof? Are there tears in the upholstery? Is it creaking a little bit more?
It's a great question, but inherent in flying in space is that the hardware has to work pretty well perfectly, and I think I can safely say that Discovery's at the top of her game. I mean, she's a very clean vehicle, and she's very well cared for and viciously defended by the ground crew that services her, and she is just in pristine shape. So no, it's a wonderful vehicle to fly on.
Eric Bowe here. I think the thing that it will really strike home to me when we actually do the walk around when we land, because obviously we're concentrating at the mission at hand. Occasionally we think about the legacy that Discovery has. But I think for me, after we do the walk around, and as Nicole said, a tear's going to come to the eye. And the big word that I could describe it is with pride. I mean, it's people that make the ship. All the ships we've had, as Mike was saying, with Discovery, we've had a line of ships named Discovery, but it's the people behind those ships that made the difference. And just like that, it's the people that make Discovery, the space shuttle, such a great machine.
Here's Steve Bowen inside the Quest airlock on board the International Space Station. Those spacesuits you see there, there's one in front, that's the one that Steve Bowen actually used, and the one back behind the camera. Their jobs are now done, so those two spacesuits will be transferred back over to Discovery. They'll come home aboard the shuttle.
And here's the President of the United States.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. President. Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
Well, I am glad to be... Is this Scott?
Yes, sir.
How are you, my friend?
I am doing just fine, Mr. President. Thank you.
Well, look, I wanted to call and just say how personally proud I am of you and all that you're accomplishing. We are always inspired by the images of you guys at work as you put some of the final pieces in place to make ISS fully operational. And you are setting such a great example with your dedication, your courage, your commitment to exploration. These are traits that built America, and you guys personify them. And Colonel Lindsay, it must be a great honor to be the last commander of the Discovery. It's traveled more distance in space and spent more time in orbit than any of its peers in the shuttle fleet. So it's appropriate that it's performing this critical and iconic mission and adding to the legacy by working on this ISS assembly to full operations.
Well, thank you, sir. On behalf of the crew, it's a real privilege for us to get to fly Discovery on her final mission, and we were actually trying to calculate with now we're going to land on Wednesday, and we're calculating. We think that when we land, Discovery will have flown in space for 365 days, so for a whole year, which is pretty incredible for a vehicle, and she's been into space. I think 39 times, and that's a pretty incredible record, and she won't be forgotten for a long, long time, we hope.
Well, that's a remarkable record, and I understand that you've got a full complement of 12 astronauts and cosmonauts that are on the line, and I also understand there's been a lot of traffic up there. We've got a vehicle from every partner that flies to the ISS, right? So we've got U.S., Russia, European Space Agency, and Japan. That's a pretty good metaphor for how we need to live and work together productively in space and maybe back here on Earth. So it's just it's a great testament to the dedication of you and your colleagues making ISS function so smoothly, and that's something that all the countries involved can be proud of.
Well, thank you for that, sir. And you're right. We have modules from every nation participating, and it is a testimony that countries that can work together and build something. And we really wish everybody come up here and see this, and they get an appreciation for that. All of these countries put together probably the most complex thing ever built, and built it in space, built it all, and put it all together. And you know what? Everything fit the first time we tried it, which is pretty incredible engineering feat, and just a testimony of the cooperation between all the countries involved.
Now, I understand that you guys have a new crew member, this R2 robot. So, I don't know whether you guys are putting R2 to work, but he's got a lot of attention, and that helps inspire some young people when it comes to science and technology. So, are you guys making him do chores up there, washing the dishes or something, or does he have more exciting jobs?
Well, sir, we actually just pulled him out of the permanent multi-purpose module that we just delivered and installed 2 days ago. I think we pulled him out yesterday, and he's off camera right there, right next to the camera, just off camera. He's still in packing foam, so we hope to to get him out shortly, and it's going to be fun to see how he works.
He's still unpacking foam. That's a shame, man. Come on, guys, unpack the guy. He flew all that way, and you guys aren't unpacking him?
Yeah, the poor guy's been locked in that foam for about 4 months now, and every once in a while we hear kind of some scratching sounds from inside, and maybe, let me out, but we're not sure.
All right, well, let him stretch his legs pretty soon. But, look, I just want to congratulate everybody at NASA, all the personnel, past and present, who have spent untold effort in making the Space Shuttle Discovery a unique part of our history in space. And congratulations to all the other nations that are involved in the ISS. And we could not be prouder of what you guys are doing. And let me say, Scott, I talked to Mark a couple of days ago. It sounds like Gabby's making incredible progress, and we're just thrilled for them, and so they're always in our thoughts and prayers as well. I know that's something that has been of deep concern to you as well. So I just want to let you know that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. She's really a true inspiration to all of us. I appreciate your words.
All right. Well, thank you guys. There's a tremendous accomplishment, and Godspeed as you guys get back home safe and sound.
Yes, sir. Thanks for your time to talk to us today. We really appreciate it.
You bet. Bye-bye, everybody.
The crew on Space Shuttle Discovery and most of their International Space Station colleagues have gotten together for a joint meal in the Unity module of the space station. The crew started showing us, giving us a rare look at their activities during pre-sleep. Started about 10 minutes ago during the briefing.